name is Samuel Trapp. I'm a former attorney. I'm a Russian-speaking American. And I have a small channel where I spout off in Russian and in English occasionally about the United States and the travesty of our country that has occurred in the last 30 years of my life. It's been kind of a shame to watch and a bit of a joke our country has become, and everywhere is totally corrupt. Everywhere you buy your way into power. Everywhere who you know and not what you know is far more important, and I believe that needs to change. You're seeing the results of it in Donald Trump right now, and I'm not a huge Donald Trump supporter. I dislike the policies of Biden, but I'm no huge Trump fan. I believe that if he'd been quiet years ago, you can go back and listen to me when he ran in 2016. There's plenty of commentary I made out there while he was running, that if he would just focus on his policies and what we as Americans want, instead of being so, I don't know what, confrontational. I've always said I'm like Donald Trump without the money. I say what I mean. I mean what I say. I try to do what I think is right. If I screwed some people over in life, sure. Most of the time, the vast majority of the time, it was beyond my control. Somebody screwed me, therefore I had to screw somebody else. Those kind of things. But I spend my life trying to fix those bad things that I feel are in my life, sometimes impossibly. I wish somebody would do that for our country, and I'm a pretty open person. I think that what is happening to Donald Trump has already happened to me, and nobody's going to help him. The United States Supreme Court, don't think that they're above it, because they are not. They won't even read it. They won't even look at it. They might have to in his case because he's popular. But the Supreme Court doesn't work. The Supreme Court doesn't do anything. They sit there all day and have their clerks who are brand new out of law school. It's a very big position to be appointed out of law school as a clerk. And this clerk reads and briefs these cases and decides which ones go forward and which ones don't. Believe me, if they send something to the Supreme Court that says, this one's not worth it, nobody reviews it. No judge reviews every single case that comes up. No judge looks in detail at every single case that comes up. Some clerk briefs the case and has his own slant, which 99% of the time is a slant well slanted toward the Democratic Party, the Democrat side, the big government side. If you don't know what Republican and Democrat really meant when it started, perhaps you should find out. But Democrat has always been about big government control of everything. And the Republicans, sadly, have become very much the same. But they used to be states' rights, less interference from government. That's what makes people Republicans. It's not rich people versus poor people, as they've tried to pump down our throats forever. It's less control versus global control. Democrats are very strongly headed toward the communist state. In fact, I'd say we're already there. We're probably worse off than what happened in my lifetime when Ronald Reagan started it all off with Mr. Gorbachev, tear down that wall. If you don't remember that, you should go look at it. Those were historic moments. And I participated in the destruction of the Soviet Union with arms control, with treaty discussions, and Russia was the big bad wolf then, and they're still the big bad wolf now. But we're wrong about that also. We just need now, instead of just American domination, we need global domination. And the Barack Obamas and the sad excuse of a president we have today are very much the people that control him, the puppets. He's just a puppet. The puppet masters that control him are for global domination, and he's just today's face of it. We're going to have some sort of a reawakening, a renovation, a perestroika, as they would say in Russia, Soviet Union in the late 80s, early 90s. Nash Gorbachev, tak skazal. He said that we needed a perestroika, needed to rebuild the system. Well, their rebuilding was a horror story for them, and ours is coming. Ours is coming. The hegemony of the dollar, the hegemony of one person rule, and that person is those who fund the United States. It's coming to an end. It might be a bloody point while we're at it, and I could go on this topic forever, but my Russian I do it in Russian. I think the Russians need to know that we're going through what they went through. We're going through it. We're watching it every day. We're watching the destruction of our country, our way of life, be destroyed. And Donald Trump is a strong indication of that. What I think is going to happen to him, and if you don't understand your criminal law, maybe you should look. I did it for a number of years in Missouri. And typically, and I don't know New York rules, haven't went and looked at them. I no longer practice law, just so the Missouri bar can't say I'm giving legal advice, bunch of motherfuckers. And they can go and destroy people at will, just like they're doing to Donald Trump. They're going to keep on doing it. And that's our system. Our system is destroy those below that have any chance of potentially being adversaries to you later when you control it all. It's not a free society. We do not live in one, and don't think you do. The lessons that need to be taught to our children in school is kiss ass, learn how to lick dark places of people in power. That's what we need to train our children to do in this disgusting, sad state of America that we're in right now. And you can hate me if you like. A lot of people do. You can disagree with me if you like. I'd be happy to sit with you and disagree with it. If you have not read my story, you probably should. I went all the way to the United States Supreme Court. I knew they don't read these things. They read, the Supreme Court judges read less than 10% of the cases that get up there. Some clerk writes a brief, and that's that, but that's all hidden in shadow as well. Nobody knows. They're going to say to me that I'm making stuff up. Oh, no, I'm not. I guarantee you what's going on up there is they're planning their next vacation. They're planning where they're going to go for their break. That's what's important in government service. It's not important what you're doing for the country and the destruction of ordinary people that you take care of and you finalize in the Supreme Court by ignoring it. That's how the system works. And if you've kissed the right ass, maybe you can get somebody to look at your case. But if you're not an ass kisser, which many of us in America, we just aren't, and you haven't paid the right people to get by, you're not gonna get by. People used to say that to me, and Donald Trump might be learning that. I think very strongly that July 11, the day of sentencing, they're going to take that boy into custody, and there's all kinds of shenanigans going on right now to ensure that that happens. And Joe Biden, his one line at the presidential debate in June is going to be, yeah, but you're going to be in jail. And guess what? He might be right. I don't think that this judge would love nothing more than to put Donald Trump in jail. He's as corrupt as the rest of them. He's a piece of shit. You can guarantee that he got his job by kissing the right ass. Most of the time, judges, that's it. If that's offensive to some of you judges, and I know many of you are not. I know many of you still believe in a system and are just doing what you can to be there. And you got your positions fairly. But the higher you go, the more ass you got to kiss. And don't tell me that you don't already know this, because you do. You do. And I could discuss some of you. Hell, I'd happily discuss the corrupt asshole in charge. Well, he was a little bit ago. He was a presiding judge of the Western District of Missouri Federal Court. That guy's a piece of shit. And he knows it, and he knows exactly who I'm talking about. He took great pleasure in sending me a letter and nobody else did. No other federal court where I practiced did. He's the only one. But he made sure that he mailed it out to every one of them, and he signed it personally, said that I was barred from practicing law in the Western District of Missouri, too. Go read the order. Guy's a piece of shit. You should read our history about it. Wonder if it's still on the record. We were supposed to be on the record when I confronted that asshole in state court, and I let him go. I guarantee you that my destruction had something to do with that. And I guarantee you that asshole was doing something to finger puppet what happened to me. I guarantee it. And he knows it. So, and I'd happily sit down and debate the asshole, but he won't. And I'd happily bring up anything that guy did to me, because he's as corrupt as if you think the judicial branch is not corrupt, you better think again, because it is all the way to the top. And what are these guys? 99% of them never even practice law. They're who? Prosecutors. They're prosecutors on the federal system. They're attorney generals. They go after people. That's their life. They just find people to go after. And if they can find you and come after you for something, and now it's becoming the freedom of speech. Hell, they might come after me for this. This is nonsense, because it's just an opinion. How can words harm anyone? Words don't hurt anybody. A word is is not a crystal, constant and unchanged. It is the skin of a living thought, and changes depending on who's using it and in what circumstances he's using it. I believe that was Alfred Lord Tennyson. I'm not positive, but I had it on. Me and several other law school friends put it on a state of Texas plaque. Sadly, mine broke. I still have the broken pieces, but that was a saying that, you know what? Words are just words, and they change. And you should have the freedom to express yourself, and our country is going to hell in a handbasket on that side of the line, that's for sure. Because there are two opinions in this world. There's the right opinion and all the rest of yours. That's how it goes, especially in the government. Especially in Facebook. Don't think you can put out what your thoughts really are. Somebody will limit you. And I've bumped up against that a number of times. Donald Trump is confrontational. He's direct. He says what he means, like so many of us. There are many of us who will say what they mean and actually have the brains to do it. And Donald Trump is one of them. I think his vocabulary is still a little bit limited, and I don't mean anything bad against the guy. That's just how he grew up, and that's how people spoke. He's a very smart man. He's 10 times smarter than I am, and he's 10 times more successful, 10 times, 500 times, and 5 billion times. How much money does he have versus how much do I have? He's successful. That dude knows what's going on. That dude has fought these assholes his whole life, and I'm really sorry for the Materinskie slova, swear words. I'm really sorry for the swear words today, but I'm worked up. I see this as just another example of the idiots in charge of our country taking control as usual, and I believe there's probably going to be some kind of a disgusting revolution of sorts in America. People aren't putting up with this anymore, and I don't think you should. If you're a young person in today, frankly, I feel sorry for you and your position and where you have to be. I don't like it that you have to learn how to kiss ass. I want a strong, I want a valuable, I want a direct population. I want people that say what they mean. I'm tired of being with false people, and we all know who they are. They're everywhere. And people that won't take a stand over anything. I'm tired of them too. I'll live with them. I'm too old for this nonsense, and I'm too old to make a difference. I'm nobody. and never have been, really. Never intended to be. Never wanted to be. I just wanted to do what I wanted to do and have the freedom to do it. But they take away even that. They crush dreams, don't think a second about it. They don't think anything about it. Trust me on that one. They don't help people, never have, never will, and they will placate people. They'll throw you some bones during COVID. Oh, geez, this will help everyone. Assholes have destroyed our country. If you think America's a place to be, I got news for you. People are running, looking for other places. And there's plenty of channels that people are running to. Russia. I've been to Russia. I went to Uzbekistan last year. It's pretty fucking sad when Uzbekistan is in better shape than America. There, they are positive. There, everywhere you look, families are blooming. People are procreating. People, and guess what that means? Ours is shrinking. People are afraid to bring children into our world. That is a huge indicator. Why are people afraid to bring children into our world? Why are they limiting? I'm from a family of 12. You telling me my parents didn't think positive? They thought positive. They loved each other, did what they could, and had a truckload of kids. Today, oh no, we're all squeezing way back. I had 4, and it was difficult to do it. Think of that. Just think of it. I like to make people think. I like to think that I think sometimes. I'm not sure you agree, and you probably don't. This is my take on what's going to happen to Donald Trump. That boy is Trump. He's going to jail July 11th when they do sentencing, and that judge is going to be smiling when he puts him away. And maybe he can do something in between, get a judgment notwithstanding the verdict, and have motions for that and delay it till after the election. Maybe. That's going to be a little difficult, but they need to start right now. And there may be some way for him to appeal the judgment and the activities of the judge in an interlocutory fashion. What happens, interlocutory means before the case is over. And you can do it. And that is his way out of this, is to do some kind of an interlocutory appeal, some kind of a judgment notwithstanding the verdict. I would have motions everywhere. Getting this judge to respond to questions of not being impartial, because he's not, of a jury selection, of putting a panel in. There are a number of different things he could do. Letting the jury go home for 6 days and watch the news and telling them don't watch the news, not sequestering them. All kinds of events that they could use to do post-trial motions before sentencing. Sentencing investigation report. Well, this is brand new territory. Let me tell you how a sentencing investigation report works. Basically, and it's usually, not to make it too simple, but usually when a criminal is convicted, the judge will ask for a pre-sentence investigation, something similar. They call it different things in different states. But it's an investigation report because conviction and sentencing are two different matters and based on two different things. Truth is based upon what the jury says. Don't think that because the jury convicted him that what the prosecution has alleged is true. That's what they, we find him guilty of all of these things. I think that's a joke, but okay. And there are many ways to attack those elements. You could say the judgment notwithstanding the verdict means they didn't meet one of the elements of the crime. And I think that's important. Somebody should do something like that. The biggest thing to do is to delay this until after the election. That's my strategy if it's me. It's July 11 right now. Well, we need to get rid of that date. They put that right around the corner on purpose. There ain't no way you can get a pre-sentencing investigation done in a month. Even for a regular criminal, they take longer than that. And but this is the only thing on that judge's docket. I guarantee it. He's there. Anything else takes a second seat because this boy intends to jail him. and for as long as he can. I read that the punishment could be 4 cents. Well, what if they make him consecutive and sentence him to 4 years on every count? 4 years for Donald Trump is a lifetime. He's getting old too. You know, he may look like Joe Biden by the time he ends his first term if he gets elected. I think that there's a lot that needs to be done, but don't go believing, folks, that our system is sacred, because it's not. Our system is as corrupt as any third world country, and you can take that to the bank. And at the lower levels, sometimes not so much. They're very good people in the system. Very good. But they destroy those intentionally who say anything against the system. They started in law school, by the way. I remember having discussions in law school with my constitutional law professor in a class of 300 people sitting in there in one of them big auditoriums in law school, and saying, and I would speak up. Even then, I probably should have shut up, but I can't do it. If I see something that I don't like, I'm going to ask a question about it. I want to understand what the playing field looks like if I'm going to play in the game. And I've seen the playing field. I've played the game, and it's freaking corrupt. You think you got a chance? Your best chance in life is to avoid getting charged, because once they charge you, they want you down, you're down. And your lawyer, the strongest thing he can do is convince them to not punish you, whether you committed the crime or not. His job is to decide whether or not, if they want you bad enough, they're gonna get you. And if they don't get you this time, they'll get you the next time. And they'll create charges to come and get you. We've seen it happen to Donald Trump, but don't think that it's not happening on every level, because it is. So be careful out there. I say, I'm trying to be careful, but I can't. I can't do it. There's nothing I've said that's a crime. They're only words. They're only words. But America, you need to think about it. These words there's no threat here. There's no nothing. But I guarantee you, my channel's going to be squished, and they won't spread this out. People need to listen, and maybe it's time to wake up. Smell the coffee. Look at your own life. Look at any bumping into any government entity that you, and whether it's the local water department, trust me, that's a joke in many jurisdictions. Whether it's a trash service or whatever government service you got, you can just about guarantee that you're going to bump into some idiot that, is very happy with the fact that he or she gets to tell you what to do and gets to control you. There are a lot of control freaks that want an easy job with nothing to do, and that's the U.S. government. You can get in there, and if you can get in there, you can stay for life. And trust me, your position in that system is not based on being competent. Your ability to keep your job in that system and take care of your family and take care of yourself, I'm all for that. Great. But your ability to do that is to kiss the ass of the person in front of you and then hope that at some point somebody's kissing your ass. Or relegate yourself to the sad fact of life that you don't want to go anywhere. You just want the same thing every day. And there are plenty of people like that in America. We need those type of people. We need them. But if you ever want to get up a stepping stone, start kissing ass now. Sorry for those sad commentaries, but that's the State of the Union today from a typical American named Samuel Trapp, who happens to speak Russian and likes to spout off about the events of the day. I suggest that you smash that like button, as I heard somebody say on one of their YouTubes. Smash that like button. Join my channel. Start talking. Talk to each other. Strength is in smaller numbers that know each other when they come for you. When they come for you, that's how it goes. And when they come for me, I got nobody. But hopefully my voice helps you understand this. I'm glad you listened to me today. Now I'm going to do the same thing in Russian. You have a very nice day, and like that channel and subscribe. See you.